right from the beginning. It is a phenomenal task to try and bring thought leaders, business leaders and politicians into one room to be able to look at what the world is going to look like in the coming few years. The title, New Rules, New Challenges, I think is very prominent, given the state of affairs, not just in the UK with Brexit, but actually how the world order is changing all around us. The business community has also phenomenally changed. And I think part of what I'd like to focus on is the fact that one of the issues now at the forefront of most businesses is how do you survive with artificial intelligence coming on board, with digitalization, with the third bottom line. We cannot now avoid talking about sustainability and environmental issues in the business plans. So it's important that today's deliberations take into account not just about the UK-India relationships as they were, because of course we know that we have a long vetted history, but that history now is changing. We have now got the dynamics of one of the largest economies on the planet at 8.2% growth, an envy to all of us in the UK, but it also means that that relationship of opportunities for the UK post-Brexit, and as chair of the External Affairs Committee I only know too well of the challenges, but I also am identifying the opportunities, and those opportunities are there for forward-thinking parliamentarians and forward-thinking business. We cannot become inward-looking, and therefore the dial on the business community globally is changing. And being a strategic partner with ETS, what we've allowed ourselves to do is to engage at that level of being able to understand much more clearly what business communities across the globe are looking for. And I must congratulate the ET team and my own team, because we've identified some core issues and challenges that will be reflected in today's deliberations. But it's also being able to listen to people who are leading from the front, people who already know what those challenges are and how they are beginning to address them. The opportunities that we are going to face are also mired by a population growth. We will look at 9 billion people on the planet. Now, we can look at that positively and say, well, there's 9 billion consumers. But those consumers have got to be engaged, and therefore we cannot avoid looking at the youngest population the world has ever seen, and how do we make sure that engagement through skills, through being able to engage at every layer within a business plan is indicative of what those young people are going to be able to offer. So I know that today's deliberations are going to raise as many questions, and good deliberations usually do. They create as many questions as they do give you some answers. And someone who has been in business since a very early age, I did my first business at age 19, what I've seen is the landscape change dramatically. We have some prominent parliamentarians from the UK coming and being part of the discussions today. That demonstrates how important the UK politicians take the India-UK relationship. We've heard very much about Prime Minister Modi's emphasis on the strength of the Indian diaspora across the world, and particularly in this country where we do punch well above our presence in numbers. We also have an opportunity really for you to be able to thoroughly engage with our players here in the new space of technology, in the new space of digitalization, and particularly in the new space of artificial intelligence. If you were here listening to the news this morning, Prime Minister May has already announced today that she is going to put much more funding into green technology, particularly along electric vehicles, and I'm so pleased to see our Deputy Mayor, Mr. Rajesh Agrawal here, who is our business mayor for London, and London will remain post-Brexit an important component for all businesses coming to the UK, But for those of you who don't go beyond London, please look at the great opportunities that lie ahead in the Midlands with the Midlands Engine and in the North with the Northern Powerhouse. We have some great opportunities for business, and those of you who are coming here to explore those opportunities, we will welcome you with open arms. We will also look for those strong opportunities to be investor partners with you in India, and therefore today's deliberations will also recognise and touch on how those processes are made much easier. I will finish on one note, and it may sound a flippant note given that I'm looking at the audience and it's predominantly made up of male delegates. I'm so pleased that the 3 opening speakers were female. I'm sure that the tone we're setting for the coming decades is that this delegation will also be full of a mixed audience, because good business sense is always about bringing in all the talents, all the potential, and looking it through different lenses. Because if you're going to succeed as a business in the 21st century, if you don't have all of those component parts, you will not survive. So I take leave now.